It's been the go-to SUV for the affluent in India for many years, the Audi Q7. After an absence that lasted a while, partly due to the pandemic, the facelift of the second generation of the SUV has finally come to India, with its fair share of changes that also includes a new heart. It joins the ever-expanding Q range of Audi in the country with the likes of Q2, Q5, Q8 and the RS Q8 already a part of brand's portfolio. The car is now assembled at the company's plant in Aurangabad in Maharashtra and is being offered in two variants, Premium Plus and Technology.
Now in some ways this car reminds you of the pre-facelift car and also the previous generation of the Q7. The curves are somewhat back and it's more rounded than before and therefore fits into that Q7 character a little more than the pre-facelift car. A lot of new design elements on the face of the vehicle. This single frame octagonal grille with a lot of chrome on it, including on the Audi logo. Nice skid plates down below and yes, brand new headlamps, beautiful looking DRLs, and yes, on this higher technology trim you also get matrix LED lights. 19-inch alloys are standard on the new Q7, but this particular design could be exclusive to this technology trim, and yes, as if the Q7 wasn't long enough, it's grown slightly longer than the pre-facelift car. It continues to be as imposing as it always was, and that has always been one of the USPs of the Audi Q7.
The rear too has been restyled and there's a striking chrome strip that connects the restyled and sleeker LED tail lamps. There are 5 body colors you can choose from, including this Navara blue, and inside there are Saiga beige and Okapi brown upholstery options. What you see here is the former.
A premium modern looking cabin is what you get inside the Q7. There's a lot of tech here and yes, you like the design as well. The first thing you notice are these new dual touch screens. A lot of information you can access through them, much lesser number of buttons when compared to earlier. So yes, this is something you'll have to get used to. They get acoustic and haptic feedback, so good to use them. Very responsive and amazing clarity as well. Then you come here, the virtual cluster, something you have to get used to when it comes to Audi cars. It's a standard feature now on the new Q7. And this top technology trim also gets a premium Bang & Olufsen sound system. The steering wheel is slightly redesigned. The controls is something that you're familiar with if you know Audi cars. And then you also have the Audi smartphone interface and yes, the voice command system as well. Just say, hey Audi, and you can access a lot of features in this car.
A new feature in the Q7 is the air ionizer with fragrance that makes the air inside the cabin cleaner. You also get a wireless charger and many Type-C points to charge your devices.
Ample amount of leg space here on the second row of the Q7. I'm very happy with the knee room, the shoulder room and the headroom as well, quite good. Maybe the thigh support could have been a little better. But for added comfort, I get a center armrest here with cup holders. There you go. 4-zone climate control in the car, so I can control my own temperature settings. I have sun blinds here as well on the second row. And yes, a huge panoramic sunroof on the Q7 just makes you feel better about being in a space like this.
A third row of seats means the SUV offers you the practicality of carrying more passengers or loading more luggage. With the seats up, there's decent space here, at least for short distances. On the road, the Q7 makes its presence felt quite easily. It's a car that you just cannot ignore when it is on the move.
The Q7 is petrol only now, and unlike earlier, this petrol engine is bigger, more powerful. So earlier you had the option of a bigger diesel and a smaller petrol. Now you have a bigger 3-litre 6-cylinder petrol engine. And you know what? This actually suits the character of the Q7 much more. So this is a big bulky car, and a 3-liter 6-cylinder engine sort of does more justice to a car like the Q7. And what the engine does is that it propels this really heavy SUV from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 6 seconds, 5.9 seconds to be precise, and that is really good for a car of this size and shape. The best part according to me is the torque figure and where it kicks in. 500 Nm, it gets to you as early as 1370 RPM. That's really good. That really contributes majorly to you getting a fun drive on this vehicle. You also have paddle shifts with you. You have the QUATTRO all-wheel drive system on the car. So yes, every single thing that will make your drive more engaging is provided on the Q7.
An 8-speed Tiptronic does transmission duties here and is well suited for the low-end torque of the turbocharged V6. Maximum power that comes out of the engine is 335 bhp, and the car can reach a top speed of 250 km per hour.
Now sitting at the top of the range, the Q7 is expected to give you a really plush ride, and that is exactly what it does, because air suspension is standard across all the variants of this car. That's not all. You have as many as 7 driving modes. So despite these huge dimensions of the car, there is always that one mode that will suit you or your family's driving style or commuting style the best way. And of course, there's an off-road mode as well. So yes, choose your mode and have more fun or comfort or even efficiency on the Q7.
The steering too gives the right kind of feel and feedback depending on the mode you're driving in. Brakes perform well, and this monster of an SUV stops rather quickly.
Now there's no cylinder deactivation tech here like we've seen on a lot of cars in the Volkswagen family, including cars from Audi. But what they have is a 48-volt mild hybrid system on the Q7. Now that somewhat contributes to you getting a slightly higher fuel efficiency on this otherwise gas-guzzling 3-liter 6-cylinder petrol engine. So what it does is that it has a coasting function where it speeds above 55 kilometers per hour till up to roughly 150-160 kilometers per hour. If you take your foot off the accelerator, and sometimes even the car prompts you to do that, the engine gets cut off for as long as 40 seconds, which means the car just coasts in idle without the engine performing its duty, which means those 40 seconds will contribute in giving you a better fuel efficiency.
Another new feature on the Q7 is the Park Assist Plus with 360-degree camera. Available only on the technology trim, it comes in really handy in tight parking situations, more so when you're driving this big a car.
You could expect a fair bit of safety on a car like the Q7, and for starters you get as many as 8 airbags on this SUV. But what's new here on this facelift is the lane departure warning system with steering assist. It's a really handy feature, especially on our traffic-laden roads. I've experienced it today firsthand on the car. You get proper signages on the virtual cockpit, which just makes your drive a little simpler, easier, as well as safer.
However, what you miss is a head-up display on the SUV. The Q7 facelift is in many ways an improved car, and the wait for it has been worth it. Yes, some of you may miss the big diesel engine on it, but many new features have certainly increased its appeal. So has the changed design, which may contribute in taking Audi back to the top of the segment it once ruled. The Q7 will compete against the likes of BMW X7, Mercedes-Benz GLS and the Volvo XC90 in the market, and we expect it to be priced starting at around 90 lakh rupees ex-showroom.